My dear friends, let us for a moment close our eyes and recall that very particular feeling. The hush that falls over a theater in the second before the heavy velvet curtain begins its slow ascent. There's no emptiness in that silence, is there? It hums with anticipation, alive with hundreds of hearts beating as one, and with the unspoken promise of the great stories about to unfold upon the stage. This resonant, profound silence is, perhaps, the most fitting description for the elegance of one remarkable woman, a contemporary of ours, Helena Norowicz. In her 92nd year, she does not cry out for the fashion world's attention from the covers of glossy magazines. No. Instead, she compels this bustling, noisy world to simply hold its breath and listen, to take a closer look. In this age of ours, when beauty is so often measured by the cold calculus of youth and filtered beyond all recognition, Helena stands as a living, breathing refutation of this shallow arithmetic. She's a great actress who first set foot on a high-fashion runway at the age of 80. But I urge you, do not mistake her story for a fairy tale about a second chance. Oh no, it is the natural, triumphant continuation of a life devoted to art, to refined discipline, and to a profound understanding of the human spirit. For those of us who have already learned that true beauty is not a gift of nature, but is forged over the years like a fine blade, the story of Helena Norowicz is more than mere inspiration. It is permission. Permission to be ourselves, in all our complexity, in all our depth, at any age. Permission not to look back on the past with wistful regret, but to face the present with pride and curiosity. To understand why it is impossible to look away from her photographs, one must peer behind the curtain of her current fame and into the half-light of the theater stages where she spent her entire life. Helena is a graduate of the renowned Warsaw Theater School, the very creative crucible where the greatest of talents were forged. For over half a century, the stage was her home, a sacred space where there are no second takes, where every single evening you must be reborn into your character before a living, breathing audience. It was there, in that alchemy of the theater, that she learned what is simply beyond the reach of younger models. The art of speaking through the body. An actress on stage commands not only her voice, but every muscle, every nerve, her posture, the turn of her head, an elegant gesture of her hand. These are no accident, but rather an instrument, honed to the finest degree to convey a whole gamut of emotions. When Helena poses for the camera today, we see more than just a woman in beautiful clothes. We see a perfection of form, polished over decades of rehearsal. Her stance is not that of a model. It is an entire mise-en-scène, brimming with meaning, the art of speaking with a gaze. A model often offers the photographer a blank canvas. An actress, however, brings with her an entire universe. Within Helena Norowicz's gaze resides the experience of 100 lifetimes lived on stage, the tragedies of ancient heroines, the sparkling comedies of Molière, the profound dramas of our time. Her eyes do not simply look at the lens, they enter into an unhurried, wise dialogue with it. In them, one can read everything: a gentle sorrow, a subtle irony, and a boundless, regal dignity. This is the gaze of someone who has truly known life and who is unafraid to show its true face. The art of speaking through clothing. She has spent a lifetime studying how a costume shapes and reveals a character. For her, an outfit is not merely fabric, but a hero's second skin. Therefore, when she puts on the creations of today's most avant-garde designers, she does not simply wear them. She inhabits the persona that the garment suggests and fills it with her own unique story. She transforms fashion from a superficial display into high drama. Her past as an actress is not a mere line in her biography. It is the very bedrock upon which the phenomenon she is today was built. She did not become a model at 80. She has been an artist her entire life. The camera and the catwalk have simply become her new stage. The story of her discovery by the fashion world could have been taken from an elegant screenplay. Long after she had entered a well-deserved retirement, she appeared in a short music video. Her extraordinary presence and innate aristocratic air were noticed by a group of young, audacious artists. And so, at an age when most of us are taking stock of our lives, Helena Norowicz was offered the chance to begin a new chapter. Her decision to say yes was more than simple courage. It was an act of supreme inner freedom. She was driven not by vanity nor by a desire for fame, but by a pure, unadulterated artistic curiosity. Could she, an actress of word and movement, master this new silent language of high fashion? It was a challenge that only a person of her mettle could accept. And she did more than just accept it. In this world that was new to her, she set her own terms. She made no attempt to look younger. She did not flirt with the camera. She brought to the world of fashion the very thing it had been so desperately starved of: authenticity. Her face, lined with wrinkles like a map of treasured roads, became her greatest asset. These lines told stories that no young beauty could ever hope to tell. Designers were enthralled. At last, they had found not just a clothes horse, but a co-author, a true personality, one capable of transforming a dress into a work of art. The style of Helena Norowicz can be described with a single beautiful and potent word: intellectual. It is built not on flash and frills, but on clean lines, fine fabrics, and an impeccable cut. It is like a well-tended garden, where nothing is superfluous, and the beauty of each individual flower stands out all the more clearly. It is a sculptural minimalism. She gravitates towards architectural, almost sculptural shapes that don't cling to the body, but rather create a distinct space around it, highlighting both her fragility and her inner strength. This is the choice of someone who has nothing to prove to the world. The form speaks for itself. It is a monochromatic palette: black, white, graphite gray, deep navy blue. Her color palette is that of a beloved old film, where the interplay of light and shadow is what truly matters. Against this understated backdrop, every detail, the texture of the fabric, an unusual cut, a single piece of jewelry, becomes remarkably expressive. The absence of color draws our focus to what is most important: her face, her eyes, and finally, dignity as the ultimate accessory. Helena Norowicz proves what we have always known in our hearts. The most essential element of style is intangible. It is the way we carry ourselves in the world. Her straight back, her calm, graceful hands, her unhurried, deliberate gait, all of this creates an aura of self-respect that no amount of money can buy. She does not follow fashion. She simply stands beside it, and fashion itself conforms to her distinguished bearing. The story of Helena Norowicz is more than just a beautiful biography. It is a powerful message to every one of us. It tells us that creative energy has no expiry date, that curiosity and a readiness for new things are the true elixir of life, that the decades we have lived are not a burden, but a priceless asset. Our experience is a fine wine, which only grows deeper, more complex, and more precious with each passing year. Helena is not calling on all of us to become models at 80. She is urging us towards something immeasurably greater, to look upon our own lives as the greatest work of art, one that we continue to create every single day. Our experience is our most precious script. The wrinkles by our eyes are not signs of fading, but the imprints of thousands of smiles, of sincere tears, of wise reflection, and of great love. Our maturity is the very spotlight that can, at last, illuminate our true, inimitable beauty. Through her own example, Helena Norowicz tells us, quietly but with great conviction, do not be afraid of your age. Befriend it, work with it, allow it to become your greatest ally. And then, I am certain, we will all discover that in the personal play of our lives, the most thrilling act, perhaps, has not even begun. Our curtain is not coming down, it is just now rising, and our grand entrance is now.